Welcome back to Voice of the Nations. We have our special guest today who will share us details about the recent Thailand's movement on the support for the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or what we know as RCEP, trade pact in which this has come into effect since the 1st of January. So please welcome Kun Oramon Saptwitam, Director General of the Department of Trade Negotiations, Ministry of Commerce. สวัสดีค่ะ
ค่ะสวัสดีค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
You look so bright this morning.
Thank you very much. Is it too bright? It's
No,
okay?
it's,
The light
it's
You look
okay.
very bright and fresh.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Nice to
So good.
meet the three of you.
Nice to meet you as well. Thank you for being in our program first. Okay, ค่ะ คุณ Oramon, I would like to ask you about the development of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or what we know as RCEP, came into force since the first day of this year, so January the 1st, 2022. So please give us a brief detailed background on this RCEP and the importance of this.
Okay, so the RCEP agreement is come from Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. It is the largest FTA, free trade agreement right now. It's comprised of 15 countries, 10 ASEAN countries, and 5 trading partner of major trading partner of ASEAN, which are China, Japan, South Korea, Australia, and New Zealand. The RCEP agreement has been initiated around 2013, and luckily, when Thailand hosts the ASEAN meeting, we have managed to complete the package in 2019. So far, it has already been entered into force, and we foresee that because of this largest FTA, it comprises of around 1/3 of the world population. The importance of the agreement is that it provides open and fair trade rules and regulation on trade in goods, trade in services, and trade in investment. So I think it's open an opportunity for these 15 countries, especially after we facing with the COVID-19 challenges. So it provides a very good opportunity for our business sector to perhaps expand trade and our export to these 15 countries market.
So when you mentioned about the COVID-19 situation, what does Thailand stand to gain from the RCEP, especially during this pandemic?
Okay, let's start with trade in goods. In the gist of the agreement, it provides opportunity for Thailand because our trading partner has to eliminate tariffs that impose on our export products. Around 90 to 92% of our export, the tariffs that impose on our export will be reduced to zero. So it's constitute around 39,000 items or products that the tariff will be reduced, and immediately around 29,000 tariff lines will be reduced to zero right now. So when you ask me about opportunity that provide to our exporter, when we facing with COVID-19 challenges, many countries try to control the borders in order to control the spread of the COVID-19. But once the RCEP agreement enter into force, it will provide a marketing opportunity for our export products. At the same time, it's also provide a relaxing rules and regulation at the borders. So when we export our products to these 15 countries, it can say that our products will be in a fast track because in the RCEP agreement, it's also impose the examination inspection at the border. For the perishable goods, the member has to manage and let the product pass within 6 hours. And for the normal goods, they have to do it, the inspection within 48 hours. So it means that it will reduce, expenditure at the border.
Can you please mention about what are the products that will be benefiting, for example?
Like I mentioned to you that around 29,000 items, the tariff will be reduced to zero. The RCEP agreements, actually, the trading partners in the RCEP agreements, we already have the FTA with them. For example, ASEAN FTA and ASEAN +1 FTA. But in the RCEP agreement, it also provides additional or top up the item that the tariff will be reduced to zero, especially the export to China, South Korea, and Japan. Example of the products is majority is agricultural product. For example, many fruits and vegetable juice that we export to China, the tariff will be reduced to zero. Also, example on industrial products, it's for example automobile parts. This example of product also reduce, the tariffs also reduce to zero.
Well, we're talking about the advantages already. What about the disadvantage? I'm sorry. What about the disadvantage for Thailand and the yes?
I call it challenges. In the free trade agreement, it's provide the give. We can say that it's a give and take because we also got an open market from our trading partner. At the same time, we also have to open our market for their product as well. So when we discuss with our stakeholder, like I mentioned to you that we already have, the FTA, bilateral FTA with this trading partner within the RCEP. So we've already used to, importing and reduce the tariff for the product of the RCEP member. But there may be some products which we have to provide, more open market to them. So this is the challenges that our domestic industry may face. What we try to support this domestic industry is that we also try to set up the trade monitoring system so as to warn our domestic industry. If we see the statistic or the flow of imports flooding into the countries, we can warn our domestic industry. And at the same time, Ministry of Commerce, we have the measures, for example, safeguard measure, anti-dumping measure for our domestic industry to come and ask our Ministry of Commerce to investigate and perhaps try to impose this measure if we facing with the flood of imports.
Let me ask you about one of the certain product like rubber products, for example. And knowing that Malaysia is also well known for this type of products, would this affect Thai exporters, rubber exporters as well?
Rubber products, I think it's all. These products is also in the list of products that our trading partners will have to reduce and eliminate tariff to our exporter. So the benefit is that because Thailand is the main exporter of rubber products, so I believe that we will get benefit from this tariff elimination and reduction to our rubber products as well as rubber process products. So I think it will provide benefit to our rubber exporter.
And following to this, how will RCEP facilitate international trade amongst members? And what will the member nations to do to step up for their corporations?
Pardon? Can you say again? I'm sorry.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so how will RCEP facilitate international trade amongst members, and what will member nations to do to set up their cooperation?
Okay. Thank you. In the RCEP agreement, it's contain a detail, of the agreement, which cover around 20 chapters or 20 main topics. So it's provide rules and regulation related to trade in goods, trade in services, and trade investment. Uh, so in the agreement, it's also provide, I think, a new architecture, trade architecture to members, because in the RCEP agreement, it's also consists of developed countries as well as developing countries. For example, countries with has developed countries are Australia, New Zealand, Japan. At the same time, it's also comprised of China and ASEAN. All these together constitute around 1/3 of the world population. So I think it's provide a trading opportunity for the whole member. At the same time, it also provides transparent on rules and regulation. So not only the large business sector will get a benefit from this trade agreement, but
Yes.
also for our SME, they will also get benefit from this agreement, because it's the first time that the FTA comprise of chapter for SME. It say that the member have to support, SME. The member has to provide a channel for SME to gain access to information related to the RCEP agreement. So, for example, like my department, we also provide information, detail of the agreement, as well as detail of the tariffs that impose on our products, import and export under the RCEP agreement. So the SME can come and look, at this information in our website. So I think this RCEP agreement just enter into force the 1st January this year, just in time when we try to reconnect to our trading partner, so that at least these 15 countries will have opportunity to expand, trade to each other.
So, so far, what your recommendations? How should Thai business operators adapt to increase their competitiveness among RCEP member countries? What your so
Okay.
far recommendations for this?
Okay, I think first of all, we have to know, for example, our business sector, large and small, they have to understand what are the RCEP agreement, what are the details of the RCEP agreement, and how they can benefit from this agreement. For example, if they are exporter, they may want to know what will be the tariff or the import tax that will be imposed, when they export the product to these RCEP member countries. They can, like I mentioned, come and visit, the website of Department of Trade Negotiations in order to check the rate, the tariff rate that provided in the RCEP agreement. And they will find that around 90 to 92% of the tariff of the total trade that trade in the RCEP countries, the tariff will be reduced to zero. So they can plan, they can do their business plan, when they do trade with these RCEP member countries. And at the same time, there are also other rules and regulations related. For example, if you export agricultural product, sometimes you need to pass the sanitary and phytosanitary tests in order to ensure that your products are safe for consumer. In the RCEP agreement, these rules and regulation will be harmonized, and keep up to international standard. So you can, come and also check the detail of the agreement as well, including rules and regulations on electronic commerce, trade in digital. The RCEP agreement also try to ensure that member countries will have to provide, consumer protection when they do, trade in digital. So these are only the example. There are other detail, but you can, come and check at the website. And we are also provide e-learning related to RCEP agreement in our website. So anyone interested to learn more about the RCEP agreement, they can, come and visit our website.
Okay, so let me summarize. So this RCEP agreements will be benefiting for many sectors like SMEs and large sectors as well. And the industries that you were talking about is the, let's say, agricultural or electronics, mechanic, and rubber, for example. Is that right? And if Thai businesses would like to find out more information about that, they can go and visit and find out.
Yes, at the Department of Trade Negotiation website. It's worldwideweb.dtn.go.th, or they can also come and check at the Facebook of our department.
Will you have any further press release on this matter?
Yes, I think we provide regular press release and information related to RCEP agreement. But my department also plan to organize again a seminar in Bangkok and in the provinces. And when we organize the seminar, we will also do it through, Facebook, live Facebook. Anyone interested can come and check, and we will, of course, certainly inform the nation when we organize, this seminar. It will be organized soon, I think around the beginning of next month.
Okay, Ka. Thank you very much for your fruitful information. And I'm pretty sure that this agreement would benefit a lot of sectors, and especially amongst the COVID-19 pandemic. So thank you a lot for today. So we're running out of time, and we shall see you next time when you invite us on the on the next development. Thank you ค่ะคุณอรมนสวัสดีค่ะ
ขอบคุณค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ